You know that feeling, right? That moment of panic when you want to say something in English, but the words just get stuck? Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to break down a method that actually works, a way to get over that fear and build some real, lasting confidence when you speak. So let's get started.
First things first, we have to understand what the real problem is. Because, it's usually not about knowing every single word. It's about something much more human, that fear of actually speaking out loud.
I mean, listen to this. This comes from a language learner and it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That feeling of anxiety. Your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty. It's a totally physical reaction, and so many of us know exactly what that feels like. So, if you're sitting there nodding your head right now, yeah, it's a huge common hurdle for pretty much everyone learning a new language. But the good news, there is absolutely a way to get past it. This right here is the biggest misunderstanding. We spend so much time and energy worrying about what we think we need. Perfect grammar, a massive vocabulary. But the real roadblock, the thing that actually freezes us in our tracks, it's not a lack of words. It's the simple fear of making a mistake. So, how do we punch through that fear? Well, we just change our entire approach. Forget trying to build a perfect sentence from scratch every single time. Instead, we're going to use simple, really powerful building blocks. Okay, so what exactly are these building blocks? They are not complicated grammatical structures. Think of them more like conversation Legos. They're these practical, reusable little phrases that you can just snap together to build a connection with someone. They're tools for talking, not for passing a grammar test. And a process itself is surprisingly simple. It's just 4 steps. You listen to how people really talk, you pull out a useful chunk of language, you say it out loud a few times, and then you go use it. That's it. It takes all the pressure off and makes learning something you do, not just something you study. All right, so the theory is great and all, but how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's take a look at how these blocks can build your skills in totally normal, everyday situations. Just look at how this works over a single year. You've got different building blocks for different moments. In January, a simple question. What are your plans? In the summer, a clear statement. I need to book a flight. At the end of the year, a reflection. Last year was a year of growth. Each one is a simple block that opens the door to a much bigger conversation. Okay, here's your starter pack. Think of this as your small talk toolkit. These are your go-to phrases for pretty much any social situation. They're friendly, they're low pressure, and notice how none of them need a complicated answer. They're designed to be easy for you to say and super easy for someone else to reply to. Now, if you really want to level up your collection of building blocks, there are a couple of super verbs you have to master. Seriously, these things are the key to unlocking hundreds of new phrases with minimal effort. The 2 verbs we're talking about are have and take, and they are so incredibly versatile. I mean, they're like the Swiss Army knives of conversation. They can mean totally different things depending on the words you put around them. Mastering just these 2 can explode what you're able to say. So let's look at have. It's not just about owning something. Like, I have a car. It's about experience, right? Have a good time. It's about obligation. I have to go. And it's about creativity. I have an idea. See? One little verb, 4 completely different and totally essential uses. And take is just as much of a powerhouse. We use it for transportation, take a bus. We use it for time, it takes time. For actions, take a photo. And for common phrases we use all the time, like take care. Every single one of these is a fundamental building block you'll use constantly. So, okay, we've got the method, we have the tools. What's the last piece of the puzzle? Well, it all comes down to your mindset. The goal here is not to be perfect. The goal is to connect with people. And that starts with practice. This is so important. When you think about what makes a conversation good, it's so easy to get hung up on perfect grammar or a giant vocabulary. But look at this. Those things aren't the main event. What really, truly matters is connection and just trying. People respond to the effort you make, not how perfect your sentences are. And what does it take to build this skill? How much time do you need to sink into it every day? You're going to love this. The secret is just 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of consistent daily practice, like repeating a phrase out loud or listening to a song. That makes a way bigger difference than cramming for hours once a week. And this quote, really, it just brings us right to the heart of it all. Why are we even learning to speak another language? It's not to show off our vocabulary. It's to share things, to feel that sense of hope, and to actually connect with the people that we care about.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. Just for a second, forget about the fear. If you felt confident with just a few key phrases in your pocket, who would you talk to? What's the first conversation you would start? The answer to that question, well, that's where your journey really begins.